This week 0 college football picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. We got live bullets. Live bullets.
We got live bullets. Joining
no more bullshit
from the college football experience, Colby Dent, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
32 belly option split on 2. Let's go.
Do I still have a list?
Yes, Colby in studio. Colby, how many college football team previews do you have left, or you're not waiting to the last week, are you?
Oh yeah.
How many do we have left?
We're in the teens.
Well, that's the problem. You crowbar in some. How many actual? We say 134, but what is the actual list?
What do you mean? Like what is left?
No, I mean how many? I feel like you crowbar some extra episodes.
Oh yeah, I mean there's some 2.0s. And
yeah,
it's just it gets crazy. It gets a little crazy. And
how many 2.0s this year?
That are out right now via YouTube. There's a couple. Now on the podcast platform, they're in the vault. I got to get them out. I need the time to get everything out, which I'm trying my best to get everything out before the first kick.
We'll come out of that closet, Cole.
I'm trying. They keep stockpiling. I make progress and then I record like 5 in a day and I'm back in the same spot that I was in before. So it's a never ending cycle. And they keep adding teams. I remember when I started doing this thing, it was like 129.
Are you complaining?
Next year's 136. What's going on? Well, one of these teams that we're going to talk about today, Tarleton State, there's already talk they might join next year too.
You should start earlier.
No, I can't do it. Transfer portal, this and that.
When does Phil Steele start?
He doesn't preview every team.
Whoa.
And make sure you check out our Phil Steele interview. The audio has been fixed. Thank you everyone for reaching out. We did. The audio was a little fucked up on that, but we got through it. We're ready to go. We're ready to talk some football.
It was censored.
Sorry, Ryan. Jacked up talking college football. Let's go, baby. All right, I'll turn it down a little bit. Old man Kramer. Put it to 11. Doesn't this just get you excited?
Oh, I mean this is one of the many great anthems of football.
I can't really. I mean, college football's got some, but this one just
let it keep
awesome.
going. Don't stop. You gotta let it get through some of this because it lulls out and then it gets you back up. Got the trumpets blaring.
Just let this go. Let people realize college football week 0 is happening.
Yeah, come at us, YouTube.
Come at us, YouTube. All right, we got a lot to get to. Of course, a bunch of week 0 games. Before we even get to that, another bonus edition of Real Men of Degens.
SGPN presents Real Men of Degens.
Real Men of Degens.
We salute you.
Sean Green, that's right. Saluting myself because I got a group text. 12 people didn't recognize any of the numbers, and it just said the 12 teams are set. Draft is this Sunday, August 25th, 4:30 p.m. Please Venmo me your entry fee of $150. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for a managed league. And I'm like, Kramer, did you sign us up for a league? I'm like, who did one of the listeners get my number and add me to this league? And I'm like, people are saying paid, blah blah blah, and I go, I think you guys have the wrong number. Apparently he meant to text 213 3. Instead, he used 310, which is my area code, and which are both LA area codes. And the guy's like, "Hey, my bad. We'll delete this group. I'll start another one." I go, "While I have you here, guys, I do host a sports gambling podcast." And the guys go, "What? LOL." And they go, I'll take a look. I need all the help I can get." And then I start giving off takes. I'm like, "Love the Titans this year. I like Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre
Now they have
Hopkins."
your number though. You're going down a slippery slope there, buddy.
Well, now I got a side text going with this one guy. He goes, "I'm gonna text you on the side while we're drafting." So now I will follow up with this guy. I'm gonna write a reminder.
Great.
I'm gonna follow up and be like, "Can I see the draft board? I want to see what happened." Now I'm invested in the league. I'm kind of bummed I'm not in this league, right? If I'm being honest.
Are you gonna let this guy know his team sucks? If he, are you gonna give him
delete my number? Your team sucks.
No, but just that transparent. You gotta give him that transparent feedback. You know.
Oh well, Ryan. I mean, I feel like you. The man in the box, CJ Sullivan, he told us his team, and I wanted
pause.
to yes.
Before he even went to tell us about the team, the body language, I immediately knew he drafted a Cowboy. He turned, slouched, and said, and it's like, oh God, you drafted a Cowboy. You're about to tell us which Cowboy you drafted.
He had Dak. He had Dak drafted, so immediately I was out on CJ's team, unfortunately, with the drafting of Dak. Although he also had Jared Goff. Jared Goff, I like.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of roster baiting. You only have to do it to your own.
And I see always fresh, never soggy, aka Serial himself. Serial being a true gentleman, even though we abuse him every time we do the Dallas Cowboys team preview podcast. He mailed us a couple packs of cards. He got
spit on it. Yeah.
He was getting rid of he was getting rid of some NFL cards he didn't need. One pack for each of us. Ryan had a Giants pack, and it was a bunch of like random players: DeAndre Swift, Carson Wentz, some of the Kobe Deans, who's having a good camp. And I'm
couple Hall of Famers.
I'm flipping through there, and wouldn't you know, this slippery bastard tried to slip in a Dak Prescott trading card, and that's immediately Ryan went right to the shredder. Felt so good.
You do like shredding.
Shredding is cathartic. It makes you feel alive, almost as much as picking college football. Let's get into it.
Are we ready?
I don't know. Do we need to do?
Is everyone stretched?
I'm ready, Ryan.
Is the audience stretched? Do we want to remind them that we will be having a sheet for the college football picks episode? I'm sure producer Josh will drop that into the Patreon at some point in the next 12 hours. It's going to be a very nice sheet, as they all are. And
Ryan really likes to talk up his sheets.
And in this case, this year, Colby managed to stretch the week 0 slate even further than I could have ever imagined.
I mean, even doing some of the research, like FCS teams fine, but some like NAIA. I'm watching like these local guys, these reporters who just look like they just got their first zit, and they're breaking down the game. I was watching a bunch of local reports. So shout out to Colby going deep for week 0, and also shout out to Danny Locks watching live over on God's Eye. He was in town and hit us up and was like, "Hey, can I come hang by the studio?" And so shout out to Danny Locks as well, friend of Jake Paquin. Sounds like they got a big fantasy draft coming up this weekend, right?
Paquin,
'tis the season.
What did I say?
No, I'm joking.
Paquin was I kept calling it the wrong name.
That's the
and
old
then we
joke.
eventually, I think Danny was the one who corrected me initially. So we got that sorted. Shout out to the merch god himself and Danny Locks. Kramer, what do we got? First game. And it's a big one in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe that NFL player who urinated on the elderly, maybe he was trying to get out to the Aer Lingus Classic.
So I mean, again, I would love for there to be a little bit more of a theme here. I will say that when handicapping this one, you do have to look at the fan bases, and when you're talking about this stellar ACC matchup between Florida State and Georgia Tech, that's going to take place in Dublin, Ireland, 9 a.m. on Saturday. Sean, we'll be in Vegas. A little morning action, a little rise and grind. Florida State laying 11.5, minus 440 on the money line. Georgia Tech plus 340, 55.5. I told myself this season, every single game, I'm hitting you with the mascot. and Colby made it tough for this opening week, but we got the Seminoles, which they're still called the Seminoles, shockingly, and the Yellow Jackets.
Do they have a guy dress up as a Seminole? Don't they have like a guy who wears a giant headdress and ride out on a horse?
Wait, what did you just call him? I'm sorry, I was
the Seminoles.
Saudi Arabia State. You're talking?
Oh, whoa! Are we talking the A&M or Florida State?
No, it's SMU. Right?
No,
I'm joking. It's Florida State. Florida State, Saudi Arabia State. SMU is Saudi Arabia Tech.
Interesting.
And
what's A&M?
A&M is Saudi Arabia A&M. So
I think Qatar is in there somewhere. So we're gonna have to. So Florida
State.
So that the code for this is that if your university has taken on, and they'll probably write it like P. It'll say PE. They've taken on PE to help with NIL funding. That's code for your university has taken on private equity. And if you look into the private equity that has entered college football, the majority of it seems to be coming from the Middle East.
Yeah,
I don't want to connect the dots any further than that, but you can do your own research, as they say. So Florida State, Georgia Tech, not much of a real backstory as to why these two fan bases get to go over here.
No, this game sucks though. I mean, it's a great game. It's a fun game, but like to put a conference game that could matter something in Ireland.
I even tried to look
when
up.
When you think ACC football, you think Dublin.
I even tried. Well, they are the all.
It is a coast.
They are the all.
Dublin's
coast
right
conference.
on the coast.
All coast. So if I'm handicapping the game, I love the Florida State fan versus the Georgia Tech fan when it comes to the festivities in Ireland. I did try to look up Big Cinco, how to say Big Cinco in Gaelic. I failed on my mission there. And the number was 13.5. It's come down steadily. I think there's even some 10.5 11s out there. I don't understand this game. I don't understand laying a big number with Big Cinco. I don't understand why people. I understand the roster and the revenge angle from this Seminoles team wanting to as a university prove everyone wrong, but isn't that the exact recipe for a letdown spot in Ireland to start the season against a conference rival that's pretty good and probably why the number is shrinking?
And this Georgia Tech team isn't horrible. They won 7 games last year. Brent Key, I feel like entering the second year. You got some returning starters, some returning production. On
the come up.
Yeah, no, they have a ton that they're bringing back, and especially on these international fields where it's a lot of rugby and soccer. I feel like that's going to lead to like a sloppy turf, maybe a little slower action, which I feel like it benefits the Dogs. And you look at Big Cinco, 75 passes attempted on neutral fields. How many touchdowns? 0.
This is a
2 interceptions.
I like that.
Sean went deep.
I don't like Big Cinco. I'm skeptical. And maybe they also, doesn't Florida State have, this could be a little bit of a letdown spot. They spent the entire off season bitching about how they didn't get into the playoff. They think they got screwed. They feel like there's a sense of entitlement. They're driving,
they're mad at the ACC for the fact that
they're in this bad deal. It feels like there's a lot of distraction.
Even though they signed the deal that was looked at as an amazing deal back in 2017. Yeah,
it's true that like it is funny how they're like, it's a bad deal now.
11.5, I still think is a good number for Georgia Tech. I mean, yeah, if you could have got the 13.5 when it came out or earlier on, sure, hats off to you. I still think 11.5 is a good number for a Georgia Tech team. This feels like it's going to be close. Like last year, Notre Dame, Ireland, to me, it was, Notre Dame in Ireland against Navy. That was just a Navy team that just really had no business competing in that game. Kicked a field goal. Wait, wasn't that was right around the total, Colby? I feel like we were watching.
I think we cashed on that. Yeah. But remember the year before was Northwestern and Nebraska where they ran out of beer.
Yeah.
And, but one of the funnier moments was Scott Frost and Nebraska had a 10-point lead at halftime and kicked an onside kick at halftime and ended up losing that game because they. I
forgot how funny that was. I had Northwestern money line at like plus 375. My thought process was Scott Foster can fuck up anything. I didn't think he would be kicking an onside kick with a 10-point lead. That was very generous of you, Scott Foster. But I think Georgia Tech could be a live dog in this game. The more I think about it, but certainly at 11.5, this feels like a good spot. Colby, what am I missing here?
No, and I actually would be. Let's talk about a Seminole from yesteryear, a Seminole that ruined Virginia Tech's phony national championship appearance, and that is Chris Winkie. He is the offensive coordinator for Georgia Tech.
Oh wow, revenge!
And Haynes King, that was year one. You've seen this so many times. I feel like as we transition with the transfer portal, the college football quarterback that just didn't work out, big time recruit there to A&M, didn't work out, jumps to another team. Sounds like let's say Joe Burrow didn't. He lost the starting job at Ohio State, transfers to LSU. They win a national championship. Oh, well, how did Bo Nix do? He struggled at Auburn, transferred to Oregon. How did Michael Penix do? You've seen this over and over and over. Haynes King, and it's normally the second year in that offense where things really go. But last season, he actually put up really phenomenal stats and on an offense that returns 8 starters.
Yeah,
and the defense
returning production.
Yeah, the defense was ass, but they brought in Tyler Sanchucci, a new defensive coordinator, who was with Mike Elko at Duke. So I'm encouraged to think that they're going to be, especially DJU, third offense in 3 years. So many moving pieces on that offense. Has he been
good in any of these stops?
I mean, he's winning. He's won some games at Oregon State and Clemson, but is it because of him? No.
Yeah.
So I just think there's too many new faces. You're learning a new offense, and who's more likely to get fucked up in Dublin? I'm going to say the Seminoles, because these little nerds there at Georgia Tech. But another thing
the
is
wrong Tech.
Yeah, and riding the momentum.
7th in returning production on the offensive side, by
Georgia
the way,
Tech
in the country.
Yeah, that's bonkers,
but
that matters when, especially in an international game.
They're bottom 25, bottom 30 on the defense.
Well, you
side.
one of those guys gone in defense. You were
that's
horrible.
fair.
Yeah. So they went out and they were aggressive in the portal. There's a lot of momentum. Brent Key, who played at Georgia Tech in the 90s, has really ignited this fan base. They just landed a 5-star tackle on the offensive side of the ball in the past week. There's a ton of momentum behind this program right now. I'm going to keep riding it into Dublin, Ireland. Do a few car bombs on me. Let's go.
Doubling down.
Worth noting that Florida State's next game after this one is on Monday of Labor Day weekend. So the next week on Monday against Bill O'Brien and Boston College coming. So very, for a team that a lot of people are kind of putting in their playoff, I not a hot take. They could be 0-2. I'm with you guys.
Be a little surprising, but
yeah, would it?
No, I guess
Big Cinco, is he that guy?
I'm always looking to fade Big Cinco. Perfect transition to Underdog Fantasy. They have college football week 0 projections up. Colby, you just mentioned Haynes King, and I would love your take on Haynes King. 1.5 passing touchdowns. You can go higher on that for a spicy play. A rushing or receiving touchdown.
Rushing. This guy,
okay.
He rushed for over 700 yards last year. Sneaky, because you just you see.
So do you like him to get a rushing touchdown or rushing yards? His rushing yards are 37.5, or you can take higher rushing receiving touchdown, which probably not going to catch a touchdown.
Let's take I kind of like both, but
there's a lot of let's ton of markets.
Let's take the touchdown. Let's take the touchdown.
They have longest rush,
12 rushing attempts. Is that a lot?
I think I would go under, but I don't know. Florida State's D line, is really good.
Do we just go touchdown? Let's just go.
Let's go touchdown.
Keep it touchdown.
Haynes King higher a half rushing or receiving touchdown. It's most certainly going to be rushing. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And Kramer, we're going to be watching the game at Circa in Las Vegas. And of course, if you're looking for some last minute plans, come out, say hi. Still plenty of time. You can sign up for the contest until NFL week 1, until the NFL kicks off. Essentially, you can get in the million contest, Circa Survivor. You can do battle against Kramer and I. We're going to be in both contests. $16 million up for grabs. You enter Nevada, play from anywhere. So you hire a proxy to put in your picks every week, so you don't have to fly to Nevada if you don't live there. And it's just an awesome, a great you and your buddies. I'm gonna sell it to these guys in the random chat and be like, "Are you guys in the Circuit contest? And we're going out this weekend." I mean, they live in LA, Ryan. What if I just said, "Hey,
this is dangerous.
I'll get you guys a flight out to Southwest flight on me, but you got to sign up for the Circuit contest." All right, when we get out to the Circuit, I'm gonna say, Derek, there's a random group text. You want to go fucking viral? Invite these guys that stumbled upon me for the time of their life at Circa.
He might buy into that.
I'm going to pitch this to him. Anyway, great book, great contest, super fun, no rake, circusports.com.
All right. Hop back into it. Like you said, somehow we stretched a 4-game slate into an 8-game slate. So
we're 20 minutes in on game 2.
Here we go. We're into the filler, the meat and potatoes here. We got, well, we remember McNeese, which by the way, they go by the Cowboys. And this one kicks off 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast in beautiful Tarleton, Texas, because the Will Wade McNeese Cowboys are taking on
ESPN 2.
Tarleton State. I mean, this is basically a national football, a nationally televised game. Tarleton State, the Texans. See this, Sean? We got a Cowboys versus Texans matchup.
I mean, not going to be picking the Cowboys.
Tarleton State laying 18. Sean and I had the privilege of hearing one of the local reporters. I don't want to call him.
They're trying really hard this year, and let's go to the coach. Yeah, we're gonna try real hard. Last year we started out by losing. We're looking to do differently this year. We're looking to start good and end good. All right, let's go to the player. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we want to win. Like, it was the most hilarious. Okay, back to you. And then the other guy's accent. Oh my god.
The one player, Jermichael something, had a great quote. He said that they need to start faster in the beginning and the end. And then the
great analysis all around.
And the coach. I mean, my takeaway was how the coach was really focused on saying that they're going to try their hardest, which tells me they're going to suck. McNeese is in trouble.
Well, that's a
big number to lay, though.
That was my handicap, but Colby made me Google Clifton McDowell, quarterback from Montana, who transferred to McNeese State, who looked like he could play all right, but also I think, for a team that kept saying they wanted to start fast and clearly were in their own head about the hot start, this is going to be kind of brutal. 99 degrees and like 50% humidity. If you're a road team, it's easy to just lay down, I think, in the second half. And Tarleton State, they're going to be up for this game. ESPN 2 national broadcast. Yeah. I think the Tarleton State Texans are going to be up for it. I am slightly concerned about Clifton McDowell, who can spin it a little bit, but Tarleton State, much more talented team. They're laying 18 points for the reason. And I think, granted, McNeese is coming from Louisiana where it's also warm and humid, but I think just if you're out there getting your ass kicked, it's going to be hard to hang around in that second half. So I think Tarleton State eventually gets the cover here. Colby, what are you doing?
Well, first off, Tarleton, this is their first year eligible to make the FCS playoffs. They came up from D2 and they had to sit for those years. So stupid, ruining kids' chances to play in a postseason. But
that's what the NCAA.
Yeah, they like to ruin fun. Another angle here is that they are trying to get to the FBS, and they bring back their entire offensive line from a season ago.
They bring back a lot of the team from last year.
But the problem to me is, what has McNeese gone out and done? McNeese was a horrible team last season.
Yep.
But they bring in Clifton McDowell. We got the Big Mac. You got the Big Mick, and I think that's a huge get. This guy took Montana to the national championship last season. Then they brought in Trevante Citizen, a star running back at one point for a couple games there for the Miami Hurricanes. They brought in Curtis DeVille, a wide receiver from Purdue, and then look what they did on the defensive line, bringing in guys from Auburn, Tulane, Georgia Southern, Marshall. I am buying into whatever they must have got a big check. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Will Wade is doing something down there. So I will take the points.
Really?
Tarleton might win this game because it's a home edge, classic stadium, but I think it's just too many points.
See Colby trying to work in a plug for stadium heads, Ryan, with his classic stadium. I see the angle. I like the Clifton McDowell highlights you sent me, Colby.
How many games did McNeese win last year there, Colby?
One.
How'd they win that one game?
And Texas,
it was a forfeit. There was a forfit on their schedule last year. That's the only way they won. That was because of a
shooting, right? It was because of a shooting.
Ryan.
I'm just saying that this team didn't win any. Northwestern State was the forfeit win.
One of their players got killed.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
They didn't play it. Like, they didn't win any games. What are you talking about, Colby? I understand they brought in some new players.
Tarleton State opened up at McNeese last year and opened up on them 52-34. So, but now it's in Tarleton. Now they got the ESPN 2 crew. I mean, these kids are worried about the social media. You don't want to look like an asshole on ESPN too.
If you want a prediction, they're going to be in the FBS in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's why they're going to roll in this.
That's
one.
why they want to win.
McNeese?
That's why they want to win by a margin.
I think McNeese wants to be in the FBS. Look at that. Where the hell is McNeese getting this money? That's what I want to know.
But with football more than
it's
most
an election
sports,
year. That's
we're about to find this out with the Falcons. You can't just put a bunch of players together that weren't good before, and all of a sudden they're going to become a good team. Sean, this is one of my. I can't wait to tell everyone out at the circuit to bet on Tarleton State with us. Will Jeff Benson offer us betting lines on these great FCS games? I think so.
Yeah,
we'll talk him into it. Montana State and New Mexico, kind of an FCS matchup here. Although New Mexico technically an FBS team.
Yeah, we're witnessing history as a FCS team is a double-digit road favorite.
1 p.m. kick on the West Coast. We're heading to Albuquerque, where Sean will fill you in on the elevation a little bit later.
Bozeman 48-17, Albuquerque 53-12.
Wow, you have that written down in your notes. I like that. New Mexico, aka the Bobcats, they're taking on the Lobos of New Mexico. As Sean mentioned, New Mexico, the FBS squad, is catching 10.5 points, plus 340 on the money line, minus 440 going back the other way. 54 is the total. Oh, this is insane. I mean, the number is moved too. What did it open at? 3.5,
4.5,
4.5. Then it got up to like higher than it got up to like 11.5, almost 13, right? And now it's come down a little bit.
I mean, this is you almost have to buy the number, right?
What do you mean?
Like the fact that the FCS squad is laying a big number.
Oh, that they're telling you.
Yeah, don't be fearful of this.
Yeah, this is interesting because then you look at Montana State, their All-American center and standout running back, both are going to be out. So they're missing their center and their running back. That's pretty big. But obviously they are favored for a reason. The thing is, like, New Mexico's starting a new head coach, and also Montana State, like, I don't know, feels like they're just going to pound the rock. It's also going to be a hot game at elevation, a little bit higher than they're used to at Bozeman. But I feel like Montana State's going to just grind this out. I think they're going to control the game and they're going to win the game. But I don't 10.5. Talk me into this one way or the other, Cole, because I'm on the fence. I like the case for New Mexico is, hey, this FCS team's coming in, they're favored by 10.5. Like, get up for this fucking game. But yeah, also to Ryan's point, Montana State is a big road favorite as an FCS school, probably for a reason. What are you doing here?
Well, Cole? I mean, let's be honest. Montana State, Montana, North Dakota State, South Dakota State. Those teams should have been in the FBS a long time ago. Like, they've just dominated the ranks of the subdivision so much that, there's a reason. Look at the other schools that they were competitive against. It was Georgia Southern, James Madison, Appalachian State. They're all moved up and they're all good. So that's the real reason. I think another reason is Bronco Mendenhall is not the type of guy to just, he's not going to do the Dion route of bringing in 40 guys. He believes in installing culture, and if you saw what he did at Virginia year 1, 2-10, right, lost to Richmond, an FCS team by 17 in the opening game. The difference is, though, he was overhauling an offense and a defense. Virginia was a conservative offense. Robert and I and Jason Beck were a part of that offense. They're Mike Leach guys. They went to bring in air raid philosophies, and that was a huge curve. Defensively, they were going from a 4-3 to that 3-3-5 that Rocky Long runs, and that's a big curve. That shit takes time. The difference here is that New Mexico was running the 3-3-5 last season because guess what? Rocky Long, who created the 3-3-5 defense, had Bronco Mendenhall as one of his coaches. Well, last season, Danny Gonzalez, who was New Mexico's head coach, was a former player for Rocky Long too. So I do think the defense is going to be way ahead of the offense, and the defense is actually going to be in decent shape, I think, for this game because they're running the same shit that Rocky Long has always ran. That Bronco Mendenhall has always ran. So I'm going to take the points just on that. And the fact that you have Montana State with a couple guys out, the fact that Mendenhall, I think one of the another leg up is Devin Dampier, the quarterback. This is a guy when he came in last season. Now, granted, he's going to have to learn a new offense, but I almost think Mendenhall he's very good with the mobile quarterback. Whether it's Taysom Hill, whether it's Brandon Armstrong, I think like I don't know how many passes they'll throw, even though they run kind of a hybrid air raid. I think they're gonna just use him as an athlete and make Montana State kind of stop him. They also brought in Eli Sanders, a running back from Iowa State that I like. So I'm going to take the points. I'm surprised that this line jumped up this much because I was in Vegas when that opened at 4.5, and even then I was like, I'm going to take I'm going to take New Mexico with the 4.5.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
Be careful,
yeah.
Sean. You know how he feels.
I
about
know.
Mendenhall.
Well, and Moneyline Mac in the chat. Shout out to Moneyline Mac. Check out the Big 12 college football experience and of course the college basketball experience. Pointing out Montana State wins this by 20+. Mendenhall lost his first ever game at Virginia to Richmond by 17. That's a nice little nugget there. Ryan, what are you doing here? The chat seems to be leaning towards Montana State, pointing out it's a wagon. They're going to be unstoppable. I'm worried. I'm worried New Mexico is a little cute.
I think there's always going to be resistance in a market like this to a team. Like you're never going to have the appropriate price on the FCS team.
Yeah.
Over the FBS team here. So even though we've seen this crazy line movement, I would think that this is still a short number, and I'm still laying the points. So it's just like I said in the beginning.
You ready for another angle?
I'm happy with angles.
I got the chance to sit down with Bronco Mendenhall.
Right? Why did you start with that?
Hold on.
Start with that.
Hold on.
Jesus.
I asked him what he's been up to the past couple of years. I was surprised. I told him I was surprised he left Virginia.
Tanking
and guess what he
Wahoos.
said? He goes, "Well, I've been, me and my family. I've been up breaking in horses at our house in Montana. He's not gonna get embarrassed in the state he fucking pays his taxes. Are you kidding me? Let's go."
All right, just because Colby sold me on he's not gonna get embarrassed in the state he plays his taxes.
His wife's got to go to the grocery store, Sean.
She,
right?
when she's in Bozeman, picking up the DiGiorno's.
Let me tell you something. Montana is football. You go to Montana.
Yeah.
They talk Brawl of the Wild year round. All right, it's gonna matter there. All right, it's gonna matter. New Mexico covers.
Honey, we're gonna need to file an extension this year.
Well, I was in the lab with Rhythm, and my model, which I've been working on, tinkering in. Again, I favor rushing defense.
You treat your model ethically, right?
Yes,
Okay.
very ethical model
Just
over
making
on
sure.
Rhythm. The model really likes the under 54, which I, as a gut handicapper, I also agree, and it's good to see my model and Rhythm's model also on the under 54, 54.5. If you shop around, I think even if Montana State gets the win, I think they're going to be incentivized to bleed the clock, run all over this New Mexico team, not necessarily run it up, but run the clock. And New Mexico being a decent sized dog, I think they want to limit possessions as well. And the back tested data from Rhythm backs it up. Go to sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm to get your 7-day free trial today. sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm. Kramer, we're talking Southeast Missouri State. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. This one shocked me as well, Sean. SEMO, as the kids call them, because they need it in under 15 seconds. Well, the SEMO Rattlers, they're taking on the North Alabama Spartans down in Montgomery, Alabama. This could be a UFL game, maybe a USFL game. -2.5 for the Rattlers, the road Rattlers. Is this spread correct?
Yes.
Wait, am I talking about Florida A&M and Norfolk?
No.
State?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I skipped over this one. I apologize. We're talking about the Red Hawks and the Lions.
Yeah. Where are you? Come on.
No one stopped me.
I was confused on what the hell you were talking about.
Dumb mother. No assist in this room. All right. So we're talking about the SEMO Red Hawks, the North Alabama Lions. I'm sure Colby's going to talk to us about the amount of returning starters on the North Alabama squad.
And the fact they're kind of at home,
and they got an FBS.
This is technically
FBS quarterback transfer from Stanford. Is he going to be starting, Colby?
I would imagine so. Ari Patu.
That's a great name.
Yes.
Excuse me.
They also brought in Ty Watkins from Austin Peay, the Governors at the quarterback spot. So a little.
Is that an upgrade?
I'm assuming Patu's
Ari
going to start.
Patu's from Stanford.
Yeah.
No.
Stanford quarterbacks, they have a pretty darn good track record.
They're calling him the Andrew Luck of schools you've never heard of.
Really,
He might do the Appalachian Trail at halftime.
he left the All Coast Conference to join North Alabama.
He did because they're building something there.
I mean, my handicap is to Ryan's point. North Alabama, 18 returning starters. It's at a neutral site, but the neutral site is in Alabama. Does it? I mean, what's the case for SEMO? I'm all over.
Well,
North
I mean,
Alabama.
SEMO's been the better program.
Yeah.
I mean, North Alabama was D2 not long ago.
They're a powerhouse.
SEMO's a team that's been to the FCS playoffs a few times. So, I can see that case for SEMO, but I'm with you. I think North Alabama has got something going. Brent Dearman's a really good head coach, and I just think bringing in that talent, because if you watch them last year, it's like if they were like a quarterback away, I feel like, from being like a pretty damn good team in the FCS. Well, they bring in 2 quarterbacks, so I feel like they're in a good spot there. Let's go. Give me the Lions to get this thing done, and at the Crampton Bowl.
At the where?
Crampton Bowl, man.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a classic place, buddy.
Have you covered this one in Stadium Heads yet?
Everything. All 8 of these stadiums are covered on this week's
Colby,
Stadium
what's the
Heads.
name of the North Alabama mascot?
Oh, I already
Lions?
said it.
No, but what's the? They actually have a lion.
Well, they
that's
have a real lion.
That's unclear.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know that to be true.
Is this near the Tiger King?
Well, look at this guy. I mean, he's on their website. I don't know if maybe he's chilling at a.
Wait, is
he's
that
probably
lion trying to look sexy?
Is that a liger?
What is that?
He's looking pretty good
That's,
on the boasts the only. So the University of North Alabama boasts the only live lion mascot in the country living on a college campus.
How the fuck can you fade that?
Yes.
Well,
Leo the Third, born on November 18th, 2002,
Yeah.
resides on the UNA campus in the 12,700 square foot George H. Carl lion habitat and carries on a tradition that has covered more than 40 years. Josh, I'm sending you this link right now. People need to get a look at Leo.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how
Alabama lets you do
right?
whatever you want, huh? How much money for us to have a lion on the couch? Just write a check, feed some kids.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
I mean,
to Ryan's
look at
point,
that
he's
thing.
just chilling. And you're gonna fade this? Did they bring him out for the game?
So look at the size of those.
Do you think he
paws.
makes the trip to Montgomery?
That would be great if he picks games. You know, they have dogs pick games. Just put like 2 stakes, one with North Alabama plus 2.5, one SEMO. They're gonna. I mean,
just
look at this. Look at this badass.
Just put the steak be North Alabama every time, and use some sort of soy burger for the other one. See what
Ryan would be on SEMO. Ryan, are you on SEMO?
No.
Really, you're on North Alabama.
The only notes I have are about North Alabama returning a lot of production. That's one of my.
Fair enough.
It's one of my key narratives for this college football season: returning production in a land of the transfer portal. All right. So we're all agree. We got the Discord firing up another pick. Does that mean what's the Discord got so far?
Discord's on SEMO minus 2.5 and Florida State.
What a card! What a card! All right, now we're talking about the Rattlers of Florida A&M and Colby Spartans of Norfolk State. This one's in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sure he'll fill us in to what the festivities are that bring us down to beautiful Atlanta. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. This one's 21.5, Colby. Why are we playing in Atlanta?
Center Park Stadium, first off, which is right across from old Fulton County Stadium.
Beautiful.
That Coach Glanville, when he was on the show, remember he told us a few stories about that fine stadium and its history, and I think the plumbing broke one time. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Shit all over his boots.
Chris there was like a Chris Tofferson reference where he's like, "Don't let the bastards get you down."
Here's a great interview.
Yeah, we got to get. He's coaching. He might be in one of these fucking games. He's a D2 coach. I forget where.
He must really love his wife.
But no, this is the game they play every year. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the classic
Celebration something.
No, the Celebration Bowl is the championship. This is the
but it involves
Swag Miak Classic.
Yeah.
There's a name for it though that I'm drawing a blank on.
I'll figure it out while you're. I'll clean up your mistake.
This game is fantastic though. I mean, with the exception of Otto Kuhn's being suspended.
Who?
the starting quarterback for Norfolk State.
That's a lot to say.
Is suspended, which it's the MEAC SWAC challenge.
Okay, that's all. It's
It's not a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they could do better with that.
Daniel Richardson is a quarterback that comes into Florida A&M. Now, Florida A&M's head coach from a year ago, Willie Simmons, who's a very good head coach. He won the national championship there. He left. He's now on Duke's staff with Manny Diaz, right? So they are breaking in a brand new head coach. Also, Jeremy Mosa is gone, who was a very good quarterback. But Daniel Richardson's a guy that started a lot of action games at Central Michigan, got some burn at Florida Atlantic. That's a huge edge. Like he was solid. He took Central Michigan to a bowl game. So like knowing
isn't he just going to light up Norfolk State and FAMU has a good defense too. So they're facing a backup quarterback. Like,
well, that's the problem is I really felt like I was coming in there. So Norfolk State starting a Garden City Community College transfer. Jalen Daniels is his name.
Yes.
So
spelled slightly differently.
Yes, with an E. But I mean, I just don't know how good can you be. That's a big difference going from that to D1 college football. So I don't know. I feel like Florida A&M, the run game with Kelvin Dean, a little too much. They took some hits. They did lose some guys last season, but with the unknown quarterback situation at Norfolk State, and I expect Norfolk State to have a much better year this year, but we'll see with that suspended quarterback. That might be all the difference.
Yeah, last time these two teams met in 2019, the Rattlers took them down 30-28.
That's a big number though, man.
It is a big number.
I'm laying it. 21.5 week 0 college football. I'm rolling with this. Well, no, because I mean the backup quarterback situation.
I think you got it. I think you got it.
Florida and A&M, bringing in a real quarterback in Daniel Richardson. I feel like he's just going to carve them up. These guys, he's got a chance. And Norfolk State's defense, nothing to write home about. Florida A&M is going to roll here.
It's just the hook there.
Well,
the
that's
hook is a little tricky.
That's
right?
the trap. Colby.
That's what you're worried about.
That's the trap. They're going to win by. It's going to be 28-3. No problem. Kramer, what are you doing?
That's a big number.
Yeah,
I'm actually looking at the history of these two teams. No game has ever been decided by this many points.
But they probably haven't had the quarterback suspended for the first 4 games.
It's always good to get back to what's gotten you here and laying big numbers when these trash teams play. Tradition like none other. All right, 5 p.m. little nighttime real game here, kind of. We did. It's funny because we're talking about the Mountain West and New Mexico, but just these bad teams at the bottom of the conference, and why are they all playing early in the season? I don't understand.
Showcase game for Nevada.
5 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Reno, where the newest member of the All Coast, aka the Illuminati Conference, SMU taking on Nevada. SMU laying 24.5. This number was as high as 27.5, I believe. Minus 2,100 on the money line. Nevada 11-1 just to win a football game. 56 is the total. The Mustangs are back. Death penalty. What? Yeah, Wolfpack really suck. I was looking at the starting quarterback, who they unfortunately are starting Brendan Lewis again. He somehow managed to start 10 games.
Chuba Purdy got injured.
Is it Chuba Purdy or Chuba Purdy?
Chuba Purdy, okay. I believe. Yeah.
With Sean's a big fan of the Purdy.
Love them. Great lineage.
Yeah. But Brendan Lewis, who was on the team last year, he somehow managed to start 10 games and only throw 1,300 yards. Not playing for Iowa
in the air raid.
And
how do you do that?
2 passing touchdowns only
in 13 games.
I don't think he's very good.
No, he's horrible.
This is one of the guys that Dion said, "Get the fuck out."
I also think it's worth
don't let
noting
the door hit you, see you on the ass.
SMU, if you missed out the ACC preview, they raised $130 million in like 6 days.
No, it was $160 million.
Oh, I'm sorry. 130 was in the first 24 hours. They are in it. By the way, if you saw that viral video of the Giants defensive lineman chasing down the running back Elijah Chapman, he recently he came from SMU. I just heard Pat Forty predict they were going to win the conference and get into the playoff in year one. This is an absolute party time statement game for this.
Well,
Texas money. We're back, motherfuckers.
Here's the case for Nevada, and I don't know where I'm going to land on this, but
you can't possibly have a case for Nevada.
Elevation of Dallas.
Oh shit.
430 feet. Elevation of Reno 4505.
And it's Reno. I mean, look, if SMU's paying all these players, there's a lot of distractions in Reno.
There's a lot of loose slots downtown. You might find yourself the night can get away from you in Reno.
Trade a pack of cigarettes for that loose slot machine.
I was in a Golden Nugget with multiple gunshot holes in the glass door.
Oh, you guys are fucking crazy if you're taking the points in this one.
I'm just trying to make a case. Nevada was bad last year. They lost 9 games by double digits, but only lost by more than 28 to USC. Just saying. And SMU, Kamar Wheaton is out for the season. They're running back, but they should be good. I don't know. Colby, it does feel like we're getting too cute if we take out of here. Right?
Let me help you though on the angle here. So they said they're going to play both quarterbacks. Preston Stone's a 5-star. Now I don't know if they're just anticipating being up 40 points and having Kevin Jennings come in, but playing both quarterbacks, the running back injury to Wheaton, like, okay, that's a guy that's a good player, but they are loaded at that position. LJ Johnson comes in from Texas A&M. They have Jalen Knighton. They have Rashard Smith. I don't know. Don't overthink this. SMU's going to fuck them up. It's game one for Jeff Choate. Comes in. I like the hire, but there's just so many moving pieces. You don't even have your starting quarterback.
Remember the word Choate?
Yeah, classic.
Great word.
What happened to Choate?
It's right up there with cunnilingus.
All right, I'll take SMU.
Like I'm smart and I say dirty things at the same time.
But taint.
It's called, that's a grundle.
So enjoy Nevada.
As a kid, me and my buddies were probably saying these words, and I was wondering, when did they stop becoming funny?
The answer is never.
They haven't stopped being funny yet.
Hey, maybe you want to go support Reno, Nevada.
No.
Hey, Michael Barker will be there. College football campus tour. Yes.
Actually, great.
Who's that?
If you're in the Reno area, go head over to Game Time. Use the promo code SGPN. Get you $20 off your tickets. Maybe you don't need the full $20 off to get in. I'm gonna look up the get in price while I vamp about Game Time.
Dan Marino's dynamic wife might be there since SMU is gonna be there. You never know.
This is gonna be a party for SMU.
I'm looking at the get-in price.
All the rich,
Tahoe. They're gonna
all
go
the rich
Tahoe,
oil money. They're gonna have they're gonna be with their whores.
All in pricing, $9 each.
How far is the Bunny
game.
Ranch from Reno?
It's Pahrumps on the other side of the state, but you can Reno. You cruise around downtown. You can find something to watch.
Sean, these guys got helicopters. They'll figure it out.
The moral of the story is go to GameTime.co, download the GameTime app, use the promo code SGPN. You get $20 off. GameTime.co, your go-to app for last minute tickets. GameTime, promo code SGPN.
Per the juice in the chat, Reno has a great Chinese spot that has roasted duck. So.
I mean, there are some parts of Reno that seem nice. Jeremy Renner, of course, got in that bad snowmobile or not, like whatever snow moving accident. He was in some crazy snowplow accident.
It was Tahoe, I thought.
No, it was outside of Reno. Actually,
okay.
Like the outside Reno area is actually
where
pretty
Burning
nice.
Man happens.
No, that's more the deserty part.
I always just assumed he was just fucking about and drove into a plow.
No, he was operating the plow and like flipped it over. He was trying to plow all the snow for either like the street and whatever he lives in.
Did he have his license for that?
You know, I didn't
need a CDL license.
He's an Avenger, dude. He doesn't need a fucking license.
But he was all right.
All right. So somehow we're still talking about the week 0 slate that only has 4 games on it that Colby stretched out to 8. And this one, at least the FCS games, I see you, but somehow Colby crowbarred in a game where we're talking about an FCS program that's only won 3 games over the last 3 seasons.
Well, I Googled
3 games over the last 3 seasons.
I Googled to try and look up predictions for this, and it just 1-800-GAMBLER just kept coming up. They would not. There was no. Yeah, the one nugget I got was this is the first ever night game at the College of Idaho.
That's right, because they installed lights at Simplot Stadium, which is a classic. It's been around since 1964.
Are you against it, Colby?
I love this thing.
Are you mad when Wrigley Field got
lights?
This is on the same level as my local high school that's going to be doing the same thing. They're breaking ground this summer to do the same thing. Lincoln University,
the Oaklanders. Hello.
I was going to tell you that, or the Oaks, as they're more affectionately known by their fan base. They hail from Oakland, California. Again, Lincoln University, Oakland, California. They are an FCS program somehow.
They are everything that is right about planet Earth and college football.
If you're not familiar, Gary Payton was the basketball coach there for a bit, but that didn't end well. And if you're not familiar with the football coach, he appears to be just a straight up hustler, Desmond Gums. He has been like mid-season. He was also promoting a big time boxing match with I should have written down his name. One of a real fighter, like one of the best pound for pound guys. Anyway, he also was he might have had done some work with Suge Knight. Seems like an absolute hustler.
Played with Randall Cunningham at UNLV.
Here's the most fascinating thing about Mr. Gums, who is the athletic director and head football coach at Lincoln University. So he must have had a disagreement with Gary Payton or something. He has no experience doing either before this. He somehow talked his way into being the athletic director for this university.
This is why this university is incredible.
Which obviously is trying to do sports with nothing else. It sounds
let's
Gary
explain this.
Well, Gary Payton left because they weren't paying for food or hotel rooms.
Come on, GP.
Or
I thought you had that. You gotta.
Here's the most fascinating part. So they travel from Oakland up to Caldwell, Idaho, to take on the College of Idaho, who does not play in Division II, does not play in Division III, Sean. They play in the NAIA, and they are number 4 in the preseason poll.
And they played last season to start their season.
And it's a pick'em.
No, I think we got to. I think we got to adjust that one.
What do you mean?
I think we got to go Yotes. I think we got to go Yotes minus 30. All right. So last season,
and by the way, College of Idaho are the Yotes, short for Coyotes, of course.
Yotes. Great logo with the wool.
Great name.
The howling at the moon.
I tried to donate money in the college experience's name to the Yotes, the booster club, but the website form was not working. So
Idaho's a little behind
football
the times.
in a nutshell.
I'm a big fan of the state of Idaho.
Well, let's talk about this because first off, Oakland started up their football program. They don't even have a home stadium, right? They just play away games, 12 games a year. Like next week, they're at Northern Arizona. Michael Barker will be at that game.
You talking about
right?
Lincoln?
Yeah, the Oaklanders. Lincoln, yeah.
You call them Oakland. I want to make sure the audience knows who we're talking about.
So Lincoln is, and they're doing this with basketball too. This is a phenomenal story. I think it's undercovered. They should cover that more because I've never heard of some shit like that where they just stay on the road for years. They're taking on the Yotes, and they played the opening game a season ago, and the Yotes won 37-7.
Yeah,
and I think a lot, but it was scoreless after one. Sean, things got away from them.
After one quarter.
In the second. Late in the second, they scored, the Yotes scored 17, but they also ran it up a little bit. They scored 14 in the fourth, which is pretty disrespectful.
They beat him by 30.
Right? They beat him by 30.
Was it 37-7, right?
37-7. But the problem is, I think, is that Andy Peters is back at quarterback. He was a junior season ago. He's out of Boise. It's personal to him that these more Californians coming in fucking Idaho.
Bullshit.
Right? So
get off my land. Wait, so this line is not real.
It's at 30. I'll see you on cut.
Okay, you're making it at 30 now?
It's at 30. The Yotes are minus 30.
I'll say minus 28.
All right. And look, last season, because the Yotes, I don't know if you looked at the College of Idaho, their enrollment's only 900 people. So
I liked them at a pick. I don't know if I like them at minus 28.
This game's available on YouTube, by the way, so you can watch this for free.
You gotta subscribe to some kid's channel though. He makes slime during the week.
So look, Andy Peters is back at the quarterback spot. Last season they had 3,000 people at the game, Sean. So I think the Yotes home field advantage is and the fact they return a senior quarterback at Andy Peters. Also, Alamander Alexander at the running back spot.
Whoa, say that name.
They have.
Say that name again. Alamander Alexander. Oh, this might be my
Sounds like a riddle.
I just think this
Why
team
do you
is
know
loaded.
that?
They're loaded, and I think the Yotes
Yotes are gonna roll.
are gonna roll. I'm laying the 28. I'll see you on Cut Green.
Okay, get cut.
Did you know there's another university in Billings, Montana named Rocky Mountain?
I
The
did.
College of Idaho plays October 5th.
I did know that.
Think we can adopt the Yotes as our NAIA team this year. Maybe follow along. Can't wait to see them take on Montana State University Northern.
That's the auxiliary campus.
I guess. Yeah.
Can't get into Bozeman.
They also have a game scheduled against Simpson. Interesting.
They're in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another. Anyway. So why did you want to talk about? Did you get all the takes off your back?
I was always going to go Idaho. Colby took us on a wild ride, but I guess Idaho laying whatever amount of points. Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm taking. There's no way you could possibly take Lincoln.
I mean, John Krebs is a guy.
I'm just
Kind of looks like the Joker, doesn't he?
if you look into this situation, whatever is happening at Lincoln, I'm sure they'll make a documentary one day. But this is like the Lincoln University is walking, so in the future, a rich guy can just have a fake university and just have sports teams. Because it doesn't seem like this. Like it seems like this is a Ponzi scheme.
Well, if TJ Goodwin,
like this team-
TJ Goodwin's back, which I couldn't find information that he is, haven't updated the website very much over there.
DM him. I'm sure he's online.
If TJ Goodwin's back, it gives the Oaklanders a fighting chance.
Yeah. It just. I mean, Gums has his head of recruiting and defensive line coach is his son Addison.
It says head of recruiting, but also chef.
Oh, what?
Team chef.
I mean, this guy doesn't look like he knows anything about quarterback coaching or football. I mean, anyway, we can move on. But yeah, I would not be. This looks like the kind of website you put up if you want to have a fake company.
It's a shell corp.
Yeah. So at all costs, can we think we can get Benson to put this number up?
Hey, can that asshole?
Probably not.
Can that asshole who owns the Oakland Coliseum let them play there? Come on.
And last game, this one actually matters because you will be betting on it. 9 p.m. on the West Coast, late night football on week 0. This is the smartest thing the executives did. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. right away. Just suck up the entire day of great football. We're heading to the islands, the big island, or not the biggest island, but the island with the most people, Honolulu, where the do they still go by Rainbow Warriors?
They do.
You know, the young people don't even know what Girls Gone Wild was.
Wow. Probably doesn't. Yeah, I mean, when they hear the steel drums, they don't know what's about to hit them, Ryan.
Yeah, just nothing but boobs. And if you're lucky, maybe more. Delaware State, the Hornets, they're catching 39.
They're catching 2 different planes.
57.5 is the total. And yeah, if you aren't up to speed on the inner workings of Delaware State, they were riding a bus to JFK to take a plane, and there was a bit of a snafu. AKA the bus got a flat tire or something. And the next thing you know, their trip's delayed. And because nothing else is going on, it becomes national news immediately. And
now they're taking 2 different planes.
All I can think about is please don't fuck up my Hawaii money line against UCLA in week 1. I need them to play this game first. This is a big number though.
I mean, 39, it opened at 27.5. But for good reason. I mean, I'm high on Hawaii this year.
It's a big number.
It's a giant number. That's the concern. But Delaware State is very bad. I think Hawaii's offense is gonna want to kind of light things up. Maybe get the. I mean, you know, Shager is a guy I think who June Jones came on this very show said, "Hey, this guy has an NFL arm, NFL prospect, and you want to get those numbers up when you can." Now, on the other side, Hawaii does have UCLA on deck. Do they want to show their full play calling sheet? But then on Delaware State, Marquis Adams, 8 touchdowns, 13 interceptions last year. I mean, I think Hawaii's gonna crush them, but 39 points, that's a lot. Colby, what are you doing?
Yeah, and now you got the sympathy play going on here. I'm
sympathy play.
like, well, I'm
the
saying
refs are like, come on, these
Timmy
guys
Chang. Timmy Chang's gonna call off the dogs, I think.
Well, also, I mean, even without missing their flight, they're playing this. Their body clocks are saying this game is midnight. So like that's got to impact you. If you're a Delaware State athlete, that's got to impact you somewhat, right?
Yeah, I think that might play a role a little bit, but I just think it's a lot of points, man. It's just a lot of points for. You keep your starters in late. You look at Delaware State. Last season was Lee Hull's first season, but the guy's a proven winner. He took Morgan State to the playoffs. I know he was 1-10 last season, 0-5 in conference, but I think they can cover this because I think everybody's going to be on Hawaii. And then you look at like they've gone out in the portal, they addressed it. They brought in Skylar Jordan from Alcorn State, who I think could be a difference maker for them. And then Corey Cassat Palmer from Temple. They got 3 Temple transfers coming in.
Did you say croissant?
There's
so many
I
great
think they've
names
added to strengthen this team a little bit, providing the team, by taking 2 different airplanes. I am a little terrified of the fact that only one shows up, and they could be forced to start like the linebacker at quarterback or something. But give me the points. Give me the points there on the island. Let's go Hornets.
39 is just a massive number. I was trying to do some research of when this last happened. It seems like Hawaii's, that some prime June Jones teams were able to cover by 39. But I'm in a quandary because I like this Hawaii team. I'm high on their offense. I think they're going to light it up. You know what? Give me the Rainbow Warriors laying 39. Fuck it, Kramer. What are you doing? Because I'm going to be rooting for Hawaii one way or the other. I don't, 39, not a key number in my model.
Markai Adams there is from Philadelphia. Sean, you're fading one of your own.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't look good. Kramer, what do you do?
High chance that he's an Eagle fan.
Go Birds, Mark.
What does the system tell us to do in these situations? Lay the big number.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Hawaii minus 39.
You're not at all scared that Adams threw for over 300 yards against Central Connecticut State last season?
I think this Hawaii team is poised to make a statement in the Mountain West. And my only concern with them covering a big number here is we're going to need to bet the money line for the UCLA game before this game happens.
Oh, that's a good call.
Because we don't want to lose out on that.
That's why I think they keep it vanilla.
But also they're Hawaii. I think if they can destroy a team, they're going to.
39 is enough where it's like if they come out and pop 35 in the first half and it's like 35-3.
Because they don't have the depth. I think they want to save that depth. Save your starters for the UCLA game. Save your
Colby just loves the underdog taking all these points. Taking all these points.
I took College Idaho, the Yotes.
That's true.
You did. You were pretty chalky with your Yotes.
Well, that was the number that you went from pick to minus 30. There's a quick adjustment.
I'll see you on cut. All right.
Time for the lock, dog, and bonus lock. Kramer, what do you got for the good folks?
Oh, we're doing locks in week 0. Interesting. That's a new thing. All right. So lot of good FCS nuggets. I do think I want to take SMU as the lock because this is a statement game. Nevada sucks big bag, and they just spent a lot of money in SMU land. So this is a perfect opportunity. You go out there with your West Coast whores. You get the helicopter. You fly out to Reno for the game. Dog,
your West Coast whores are different than your Texas whores, right?
Yeah, maybe they prefer an East Coast Radford style whore. Dogs don't have a ton to choose from. This I'm back in midseason form, Sean, but I do think Georgia Tech is live in one of the only real games we talked about. Plus 340. North Alabama's a tiny dog. It's a nice dog, but it's a tiny dog. Bonus lock.
So what are you doing? Georgia Tech?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then I think the returning production bit when we were talking about Tarleton. As much as I want to throw College of Idaho out there because Lincoln is a Ponzi scheme. I mean, go read what Gary Payton said about it. Like players were deceived. Like clearly there's a Ponzi scheme here. The fact
What was that?
I didn't know I was gonna have to pay
What
for
was that
lunch.
fake school?
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore.
Lincoln
It's a
University.
feeder school from Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, that's the high school level. Lincoln's trying it at the college level, right to the FCS. No one even heard of him in D2. Bonus lock. Yeah, Colby laid out a lot of reasons why you're going to want to lay it with Tarleton. For some reason, he took the points with McNeese.
Classic Colby.
He got a strong ass offer from fucking McNeese.
Yeah, I'm gonna take first lock. Give me Northern Alabama plus 2.5. I'm with you, Ryan. Georgia Tech on the money line plus 340, and yeah, I'll go SMU minus 24.5 as my bonus lock. Colby, what do you got?
Yeah, let's lock up SMU minus 24.5. That's the obvious one there. All that oil money.
They're gonna be so lubricated.
The dog is Bronco Mendenhall. All right,
New Mexico.
Yes, let's go. Let's take a shot
you
on
shook this man's hand, and now you're bending
Hey, I
over
met
for
Timmy
him.
Chang too. All right, and fucking Jeff Choate. All right.
Bleep that out. We
Keep talking
you can't
about-
be saying chode every
Keep
year.
talking about these grundles.
The bonus lock is North Alabama. North Alabama plus 2.5. Let's
He
go.
just copied your locks and did it in a backwards order. Sean.
Yeah, he
See that?
did it to throw people off. Classic guy. Hey, they'll never see this coming.
Well, actually,
Hey, Washington, I'll deliver those plans for you.
you know what? Fuck it. Give me the Yotes minus 28.
Oh, come on. That's not a real line.
All right.
Here's what I do want some level of
All right,
commitment. that
Idaho minus 28.
Colby is required to keep us up to date on the College of Idaho and the Lincoln University.
Yes.
Will Lincoln University win their more than one game? Their win total was 1. Are you taking over or
Hold
under?
on. Let me look at that schedule again.
That's like when we had Kansas over 1.5. That was electric.
They've averaged 1 win over the last 3 seasons.
I was just looking
under
at their
Mr.
schedule a minute ago.
And by the way, I did find just going back to Mr. Gums, the coach of Lincoln. A little more than 2 weeks after Lincoln lost their season finale to Southern Utah 55-0, Crawford publicly disclosed that BLK Prime guaranteed him $10 million to fight in a fight. Basically, this company that Mr. Gums is associated with was promoting a multi-million-dollar boxing event as he's coaching.
Yes.
How is this?
Let me make a case for why the Oaklanders could be a sneaky play. Florida A&M won.
Terrence Crawford. That's like a big time boxer.
Yes, Florida A&M lost. They lost to Florida A&M 28-0. Florida A&M won the championship last season. Then Kennesaw, who's in the FBS, only lost by 16.
Oh, they didn't win
Kennesaw.
any games last year.
None. So,
Wow.
but the win total this year, though, I think there's opportunity. Look at it. You see this area here? Savannah State,
we need to get
Shannon
outta
Sharp's
here. We need to get outta
they're
here.
playing another Lincoln. Against Lincoln, Missouri.
Is this like it's like a some sort of franchising of fake schools? This is there's a deeper plot here, Sean. We might need someone to look into this.
Shout out to Dick Puncher in the chat. You can check him out in the Green Bay Packers team preview. Easy in the chat. You can check him out in the Lions preview. Dick Puncher on Delaware State officially at plus 39. Fading the Rainbow Warriors.
The chat is saying that Northern Alabama is up to 10.5.
What?
Is that real?
Where?
Colby, double check these spreads.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Well, FCS lines move like crazy. You know that, and I did this yesterday. So
Oh boy.
While Colby's doing that, I'll
Wow.
remind everyone to go get the.
Wait, we can get 10.5 points with North Alabama now.
yeah, hang on. Where's the?
Wow.
Where
All right.
are they seeing that? Let me know.
I don't know. It's not that important. I mean, we liked it at 2.5. We love it at 10.
Should we update it?
Let's see. Saw it on FanDuel. All right.
While you're looking up that number, Ryan, of course, make sure you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase, fill in the 32-word team phrase, or you can mail it in. The sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase also has their mailing address. We will pick one winner who collected all 32 words for a $500 NFL Circa future. Who doesn't want that? What an electric sweat that would be, Ryan. A free future, just rolling $500. You can do anything, any NFL future, get that. And football. use that promo code in the SGPN store. Get you 10% off everything between now and when the National Football League kicks off. Football is back, baby.
All right, update. North Alabama 10.5.
Oh my God, what happened, Colby?
Plus 290 on the money line.
That's a fire money line play right there. Then
Okay,
let's change. Can you change my dog?
Yeah,
you want to go?
Yeah, let's go.
We got.
Should we parlay that? Should we do a New Mexico, North Alabama parlay?
Do we put Georgia Tech in there and round robin it?
God, come on.
Right.
Let's
Second
go with that.
update. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, that sounds fun. Second,
But you're on Montana State.
Oh no, I don't. I heard the part where you like Georgia Tech.
Just Georgia Tech and North Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put that as a group parlay.
Other update: Florida A&M, which very interesting to see which book has the FCS number out first. Florida A&M 17.5 now.
You know what's crazy? It was 17.5 yesterday.
So maybe there's some.
And today I saw it at 21.5 at a book.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The FCS stuff obviously moves. The $50 bets or whatever they're taking on it. It's just like whoop, what? Moving this one. Didn't know about Lincoln being a Ponzi scheme over here. We're gonna have to look further into this.
We will be doing some digging. Hey, if you're coming out to the Circa, come say hi,
please.
Yes, and we will do a week 3 preseason picks, and check out the Phil Steele college football predictions episode. The audio has been fixed, and of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Man, learned a lot on this episode.
Kramer, let it ride.